What's up? Beer Man here. Back in November, I made a video, showed my little mining farm. It's not really little, 192 GPUs. It's totally crazy to think here we are, uh, all these months later. Got how many freaking subscribers now and how many views on the thing? So many crazy comments. A lot of good ones. Very few negative, actually. We know about the issues. We're working on them. That's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we're talking about how to build mining rigs. There's going to be a series I'm working on. The first one is this one. Say how to build a frame. You got to start from square one, and the design of this frame was that it has to fit inside my shelf. Go look at that video. You can see the shelves and the reason why it's designed like this. Here on this table we have a bunch of power supplies. We're going to talk about them. This is a ATX power supply. Every desktop computer in the world has something like this in it. Different wattages. The higher the wattage, the more GPUs, the more stuff your computer can handle. Now with mining rigs, you need a lot of power. I'm talking 1600 watts on some of these rigs. If you got a ton of GPUs, especially if you're using like 1080 Ti's. If you're using the GTX 1060s or the RX 580s, your power needed is going to be a lot lower. All 16 of my rigs is using one of these. The only difference with this particular one is it's a titanium version. It's irrelevant. I got this on Black Friday. This is a spare, just in case if any of my power supplies die, I have a spare for everything. So the rig that we're going to build in this video series is just like the ones I have in my shed, using basically all the same parts that you're seeing on this table. I'm just going to talk about a few different options for you, the viewer. So the first thing you're going to need, ATX power supply. This thing is capable of delivering, like I said, 750 watts. Now really that's only like 3 GPUs, and you're going to be pushing it. Now you don't want to push this power supply. You really want to keep all of your power supplies at about 50%. They're the most efficient. Now this is a titanium power supply, which means it's like the highest rated possible power supply. You can get a gold or a bronze, but you know what? You're just throwing your money away because you're wasting a lot of energy. So your motherboard, your CPU, your all of your risers are going to run off of this. Now you can run it any different way you want. That's just how I do it. The reason for that, as I understand, is electrical isolation in the GPU. So when we're talking about PCI connectors, we're talking about this. Only your risers are connected to this. And I'm going to show you how in the next video, how to get everything wired, how to get everything connected using this. The PCI connector that I'm referring to in the video, these are going to go to your breakout boards. How does breakout board work? Connected to your server power supply. Now, this is going to give you all the different connectors to all the different GPUs that you have. This is a server power supply. This is 1200 watts, running on 240 and 120. It's going to be rated at 900 watts. So you really need to keep track of your power usage. And I'll show you in another video how to do all that. So you have a couple of different options with breakout boards. You can get this one from Deep in the Mines. You can get this one from Parallel Miner. Both of them provide a great product. This one has a simple on-off switch that you can power it on. This one has that as well, but it has something special, which is a little 4-pin connector, which I'm hoping I can use, have it connected to the ATX power supply. So where maybe they can power on at the same time. I don't really know if that's going to work. I haven't tested it. That's why I bought it, and we're going to test it right here together. Not today. Also here, I have a Bitmain power supply. This thing's great. It's like 1600 watts, and it's got a ton of power. This is a spare that I have for my amp miners. Now, these are the PCI connectors that we're talking about. This is what you're going to connect to your video card. So this one would work, except for there's no way to turn it on or turn it off without unplugging it. Not very convenient. But this thing's only 105 bucks. You can buy it directly from Bitmain. This is certainly an option. This is a Pico power supply. This thing's only 160 watts. Now this thing It's something I'm going to look forward to using in future expansion. Had some problems getting it set up with my current setup, mostly because I was still learning at the time. But I'll explain a little thing about this. This is a 160 watt, I believe. I think they also have a 200 watt version. Maybe this is a 200 watt version. They have also 300 watt versions like that. Now, what this thing does is this replaces your ATX power supply. The one thing really you need these for is that giant motherboard connection here. I mean, it's got like 24 cables, I think. This replaces that. However, you can't run a lot of stuff off of this. You really have to be very careful on how you're getting everything wired. So we're not going to talk a lot about that. That's an option. In a future video, we'll talk about how to replace this with one of those. This is a 300 watt version. Basically does the same thing. Now, I had some success with this, except for I broke it. I overloaded it, and it's dead. But it will work for you. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for everybody's support. I'm going to try and create a lot of good content for you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one.